Hello, and welcome to the Superscript New Comic Book Minute. I'm back, everybody. I know you missed me. Thanks for holding it down while we were out. Big week. Oh, go ahead.
What week is it?
Oh, yeah. It's the week of November the 9th, being Wednesday, November the 9th, when we are both filming this and when all of these comics are available for purchase here at Superscript Comics and Games. Yeah, it's a big week. It's an eventful week. We got a lot going on, and we got a lot of comics to talk about, so let's just jump right into it. You mind if I go first?
No, go for it.
This. All right. We've got Gospel by Will Morris. So this is a new Image book, which is kind of a adventure set during the reign of Henry VIII, so it's a period piece. There may be a supernatural element to it. There may not be. It may be a Scooby-Doo-esque, not really, sort of thing, or maybe it is. Who knows? It's kind of up in the air. I read this book earlier today, and it's really cool and it's interesting, and not a lot of people doing stuff like this in comics right now. Speaking of period pieces, I guess, that are definitely supernatural in nature, we've got this one shot by Jonathan Luna, The Knight and Lady of Play. This is not for children. And it is spooky and sexy and a bunch of other things. If you've read a Luna Brothers book, it is that. Also, the Jonathan Luna doing the art in this, too, writing and doing the art in it, never sold their own art before, and he is selling, as of today, he's putting the pages from this book up for sale. So if you're into original art, it's kind of cool. And then we have X-Men Red. We've got a new arc in the X-Men Red series, which is clearly featuring Cable, everybody's favorite, Scott Summers' son. But Al Ewing's writing this. Al Ewing is great. I think if you're going to read one X-Men book right now, it's a toss-up between this and the Cy Spurrier, Nightcrawler, Legion book. But this is tied for first place in my mind. Batman Incorporated by Ed Brisson. This is the second issue of Batman Incorporated, involving the now greatly expanded Bat family, or Bat corporate entity, as it were.
They're a family there.
Yeah,
we're a family.
Yeah,
here
it's like they got like a ping pong in the break room, which is also the Bat Cave.
Door's always open.
Yeah. There's like an asteroids machine. You can tell this isn't like every other corporate shop we've ever found. But yeah, cool book. I like Ed Brisson a lot. It's good. It's if you like those characters, which I do, this is definitely a good book. I'm very excited about this. Let me tell you. How much do you know about the Wildcats, Nick?
Not much.
All right, well, let me know how much you need to know about the Wildcats to read this book. Nothing. This will be your first Wildcats book.
Oh, okay.
They will... Matt Rosenberg is going to bring you along for the ride.
Yeah.
I grew up in an era of, like new Image stuff, and Wildcats is maybe not the best book I'd ever read back then, but it was definitely like the grittier Justice League equivalent. Lots of cool characters, really interesting, stuff to play with, and also there have been a bunch of people who've done really interesting things with Wildcats since, like Warren Ellis's Wildstorm, like reimagines them, and having them updated and brought into the DC universe is very exciting for me. I like Grifter. He's got a cool mask. The art in this is really good. It's not by someone I recognize. By last name is Segovia, and it's written by quickly becoming one of my favorite writers, and that's not just because they make lots of allusions to hardcore bands I like, is Matt Rosenberg. So if you like Matt Rosenberg, or you like the books I recommend, this is going to be cool. I'm very excited about this. Speaking of nostalgia plays, which is all comics, so there you go. No, I'm kidding. We are celebrating today. Celebrating seems like the wrong word for it.
I am.
Nick is celebrating. The death of Superman. It's been 30 years, which means we're all pretty
30
old.
years since we've had a Superman comic.
Yeah, I can't believe
crazy.
It's the first time in 30 years. From that fateful day when Superman died, there is a reprinting of that to mark the anniversary of Superman 75. if you want to relive the magic of
Yeah.
Superman being killed, you can do so here.
I mean,
I remember this being
Yeah.
like a holy
it was
crap
like a big
moment.
It was like, yeah, in
and
the news.
and I remember it being like gritty and dark
Mhm.
and like really informing a lot about how comics got written at the time. It's so like right, I can't remember which even comes first, but like right on the heel, like Batman getting his back broken and stuff, and it's a really weird time to be reading comics. There's also the Death of Superman 30th anniversary special. So this is like a spined one. This is not the reprint. This is a bunch of stories about that, about the death of Superman by a bunch of your favorite current DC writers. It's got a ton of people. Name a good DC writer from the last couple of years, and they've probably got a hand in this. We've got Dan Jurgens, Jerry Ordway, Roger Stern, Louis Simonson, and quite a few more. So this is really cool. There's also, for those of you who are over 30 years old or have been reading comics for more than 30 years, there is a version of this that comes in a plastic bag with the Superman logo on the front. Which did you own
The black, yeah,
Yeah.
like you can't see what's inside.
Yeah, I had that
Because it's
version.
Superman's dead body inside.
But anyways, cool collector's item. New Golden Age. Bunch of people working on this. This is a one shot. Checking in with some characters in the DCU. Jeff Johns. It's got a bunch of cool characters in it. It's Stargirl, Batwoman. Just a bunch of Golden Age characters and what they are doing currently in the DCU. I believe I've not read it yet. I'm excited for it though. It's got a bunch of people that like working on it. And then new Black Panther series running in congruence with the other Black Panther series. Black Panther Unconquered. I'm sorry, I'm fighting off a sneeze while we're doing this. And I know we only have a minute, so I'm trying to just quench it back. It's a Black Panther comic. I like Black Panther comics. Worth checking out. This is a book that has no pictures in it. This is not a comic book. This is Watchmen After Watchmen After Midnight, edited by Drew Morton. It's a bunch of essays about not just the Watchmen, but about all of the different adaptations and extensions of the Watchmen and how Watchmen is meant to be the superhero deconstruction. It has a very specific thing to say. It's like not intended to be Alan Moore did not intend it, as he has said many times to anybody who would listen to it. It's not intended to be adapted or used to explore other topics. And yet we've done that anyways, and to great effect. Like that new HBO series, I thought was really cool and really interesting. Had some interesting things to say about how we take a very specific cultural work and then do other things with that very, very specific cultural work as time progresses, and how the Zack Snyder Watchmen is so much different than the Jeff Johns Doomsday Clock comic is so much different than the Watchmen series for HBO. So cool. If you like reading books about comics, this looks like an interesting one. I'm gonna pick up a copy. I like that kind of stuff, exploring the form, if you will. Next, I've got Berserk. If you're a manga reader, you are already waiting in line outside the store to buy this probably, but also this is, I feel like, the book where if you're not like a big manga reader, this might be the one.
It's a big crossover book, yeah.
This is the Akira of the modern day, I guess, in terms of this is like a dark fantasy book with fantastic pencils telling a very involved story, and we're approaching the end, but this is volume 12 out today. It's as heavy as ever. And then speaking of heavy, dark books, the second Gideon Falls hardcover completing the series that is Gideon Falls. So if you got the first hardcover, now you can have the second hardcover, have all the nice hardcover volumes. I'm also buying this today, so this is lots of things I'm picking up.
All right, books I'm looking forward to this week. We've got Sabertooth and the Exiles. This is a new #1 from Marvel. So Sabertooth has been he's been thrown into the pits or something in Krakoa for breaking the rules. He has killed a human, and now he has escaped. So he's gonna escape along with the Exiles and see what happens. So looking forward to that. I like Sabertooth. I like his style, his outfit is always good.
Skin tight, like leotard, unitard with like a big
He's got
furry collar.
that good collar, you know. So Sabertooth and the Exiles #1. Then turning over to small press, we got Traveling to Mars. This is a new one by Mark Russell, put out by Blaze. In this, a pet shop owner is sent to be the first person to go to Mars. He is sent there because he is terminally ill and has no need to return home. So no worry of him, trying to make a mission home. Just go to Mars and check things out, and I guess there's a guitar involved too, so we'll see what that's about. But Mark Russell, if you want a good, I'm assuming, satirical work like Mark Russell often does, check out Traveling to Mars, or check out Billionaire Island, Cult of Dogs, another one, follow-up to the original Billionaire Island, where there's an island filled with billionaires, but I believe at the end of the original series, the original Billionaire Island, the island is destroyed, so this is sort of the follow-up, see what happens next, and there's a Cult of Dogs, so say no more.
I mean, that title and Mark Russell makes me
Yeah,
read it.
so seems good, interested to check that out. Then we've got some Spider-Man stuff. So first of all, we got Spider-Man issue 2. This is the new ongoing by, this is Dan Slott. This is the new series by Dan Slott. This is #2. We still have #1 on the rack. If you are looking for a new Spider-Man book, then I would highly recommend check this out. This is also leading up to the end of the Spider-Verse. So if you want to see what happens to all your Spider-Verse characters, then you should be reading this Spider-Man. Or if you would also like to know the origins of Kraven, then check out Spider-Man The Lost Hunt. That's what this one's about. This is a new one by by J.M. DeMatteis. J.M. DeMatteis. What J.M. stands for, you will find out when you read this.
And then subsequently
Google that author. Then we've got, back to small press, we got Ninja Funk. This is a new one by What Not Publishing. This is a fun action story with all kinds of weird looking characters. There's someone with a TV for a head. There's a cat that talks. I think it's kind of going for like a little bit of, well, I don't know, like a sci-fi Afro samurai type of vibe, where there's kind of like a melding of different genres. It looks really fun. The art's really cool. So Ninja Funk. Then we've got Fantastic Four, the first issue by Ryan North, who just wrote Secret Invasion #1. So if you're looking for a new jumping on point for Fantastic Four, I always really like Fantastic Four, but feel like I haven't read enough of them. So looking forward to checking this one out. The art in this looks really great too. Love this cover. We got a bunch of other cool covers too. So Fantastic Four #1. Then we've got The Purple Oblivion, issue 1 by Sumerian Press. I don't know really much about this other than this publisher does all kinds of weird, crazy things. The art is always great.
Too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the art always looks great. Yeah, and it's always weird, dark stuff. So if you're into that, maybe check out The Purple Oblivion #1, or check out fresh in trade Heavy Metal Drummer. This was a really popular one. Came out earlier this year in issues, now in collected trade. Kind of a weird psychedelic trip about a heavy metal drummer. So there's that. Then some other trades. We got Twig, finally in trade by Scotty Young. This is a sort of fantasy adventure in the style of Bone, or something like Labyrinth even. So if you're looking for some whimsical fantasy by Scotty Young and Kyle Stram with beautiful art.
Kyle Stram art is unbelievably
it's
good.
Incredible. So yeah, check out Twig. And lastly, what I'm very looking forward to, perhaps most this week, is It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth, an autobiographical novel by Zoe Thorogood. So I really like Zoe Thorogood's art and writing. the impending blindness of Billy Scott was a big one. She also did the art in Rain. But yeah, so this is an autobiographical tale. There's all sorts of weird stuff happening in this. Some different assortment of visual styles utilized here, and narrative styles, it looks like. So really looking forward to checking this one out as well. And yeah, those are the books. Those are some of the books this week. But
really
it's a
big week for comics. There's like a bunch of stuff we didn't touch on. I know we're coming up on a minute here, so I'm going to move as fast as we can. We have 5 more days live of our crowdfunding campaign. Monday the 14th. Is the last day, so if you are still waiting to back the project to build a bigger, better superscript, you can still do so. We're already starting some of that work right now, and we've hit our goal, and we have posted online that we're gonna do some additional stuff. We're gonna make it an even bigger, better, double the better superscript if we can hit some additional stretch goals. You can go online to our website or any of our social media accounts to see what some of those things that we're planning on doing are, if we can get a little further ahead in our funding. And there's tons of cool, we have original art left from some really outstanding creators. And yeah, so we're out of time. But anyways, thanks guys, good to be back. See you next week.